respective worst case scenario.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Making WoW autoplay.
Lots of problems.
I've been pretty damn negative about World of Warcraft lately. I'm getting pretty sick of that. Now, are there glaring issues across pretty much every factor of the game? Yeah. But deep down, I think that a lot of WoW players could really be honest with themselves and say, there's still nothing that compares or comes close to the experience and polish that WoW provides. So in realizing that, I've decided to take a 3-step approach towards reducing my pessimism about this game so that I can go back to a relaxed approach of enjoying the game for what it still is, which is the best MMO that there is, was, or I think ever will be. Now, I am a casual gamer to every extent of the word, and I think that extent goes no further than in World of Warcraft, where there's so much to do and there's like countless versions of the game, like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different versions of the game that you can always be playing. I just can't keep up in WoW like I used to. So to be completely fair, before I just get into my blatant optimism, I sometimes am protected from some of WoW's deepest flaws because I just don't always get to play daily. I don't get to experience that endgame content to the depth, really, that I would like to, but that more serious players get to all the time. When I log in, maybe I'm hitting a couple of delves, I'm gonna run around and do some world quests, do some LFR, some 5-mans, probably doing something with leveling an alt, especially right now since I deleted all of my characters from my last video. But either way, in any of those senses, I can play for an hour, 90 minutes, and my itch gets scratched. So with that said, why have I spent so much time and so much energy shitting on this game that kind of, when I actually play it, brings me nothing more than joy and fun? I think it's pretty simple. It's because hate is easy. Shit talking is easy and it's fun. And negativity is clickable. So when I take a step back and I think about my own habits, I realize how draining that cycle really is. If I'm planning on playing some WoW at night, and then during my lunch break, I sit down and I watch a video about how sucky the new patch is, or how terrible this system is, or how every creator and their brother and their mother are mass exodusing from WoW over to this snail's pace 6-pixel MMO over here, it just bums me out, and then I'm less excited to play with the free time that I do have. So as I've begun to focus more on the positive and to spend time with the question of like, what do I get out of being so negative about World of Warcraft? I realize nothing. One video might pop off a little bit, but then what am I left with? A search for the next thing to complain about with World of Warcraft. So instead, I've come to the following 3 conclusions and ideas of how to fully enjoy the game again, and it's worked pretty well for me. So number 1, and probably the biggest piece, and a piece of advice that I give people and myself in every area of life, and that's stop consuming so much negativity. Negativity in all aspects, but in no greater setting than in social media, scales way faster, way easier than positivity does. So if you are constantly diving into endless reviews and opinions and threads and comments, you're gonna inevitably skew your own experience before you even log in. I try not to even look at individual reviews of a game or a show or any other piece of content that I'm interested in trying anymore, because I know that might negatively skew my view of an experience before I even try it for the first time. I might look at an overall score or maybe like one review from a source that I trust and resonate with, but beyond that, I'm trying to keep away from the negative noise before or while I'm ever gonna play a game. Number 2, and this one is a little bit more on the corny side, you have to be the change in the game that you long for. A big issue that a lot of people have with WoW these days, and especially in retail, is that the community aspect of the game doesn't exist like it used to. People aren't as willing to take the time to teach newer or less talented players what they need to do in order to get to their level. So in order to create that environment that we all crave, especially us older people who have been playing this game for 20 years and remember that sense of community back in the day, we as the players have to step up and start developing that for ourselves. We have to start encouraging shitty tanks to try again rather than kicking them, so that we don't experience or continue to experience this massive tank shortage that we have for Mythic Plus. But again, hey, the good news is if the thought of being nice to other players in the game just makes you cringe, there's more solo content available in World of Warcraft than there ever has been. So you could play this game, get a lot out of it without having to say hello to another soul ever again. And this one is number 3, but I think it's number 2 in terms of the amount of impact that it's had on my ability to enjoy World of Warcraft, and that is to take a damn break from the game. I had to stop playing World of Warcraft after Mists of Pandaria, and I didn't return until Dragonflight. And during that break, I missed WoW. I craved it. I kept up with all the news, the new raids, the cinematics, all of it. But when I came back, everything felt so alien, so foreign, so weird, but also it felt novel again. It felt new. It felt exciting. So if you are burnt out on the direction that WoW is currently going, maybe skip Midnight, skip an expansion. It might sound crazy, but it might also reignite that spark when the last Titan comes out, and you can avoid being super burnt out from a 3rd expansion in a row when you're just feeling super negative. And using the word burnout for a video game is crazy. Like, if you're playing a game enough to get burnt out on it, then you've probably gotten the value from that game that you need to. And I'm, again, talking to casuals, people who don't play this game for a living. I understand some people stream the game, some people play professionally. That's a little bit of a different story, but if you're playing this game professionally, stop complaining, please. So in all of this, once again, I'm not taking back every criticism that I've made over the last 5 or 6 videos. I still think WoW on mobile is a possible outcome in the coming years, and I think it would be awful for the game. I still really dislike the 1-button rotation, even if it makes the game a lot more accessible, because again, it's kind of a step into the cheapening of the entire experience in my eyes. I definitely think that Blizzard has lost the plot in a lot of different areas. And this
sold us out, so the Alliance
What
and
is
Horde
that?
could wage war in
What is that? Are we on hoverboards?
is still the worst visual that I've ever seen in a premium game, and I cannot comprehend how it got past quality control. I don't want my idealized version of the game to get in the way and ruin my ability to enjoy what we do have, which, once again, is still actually the coolest, most interactive, most dynamic, most varied, and massive gaming and fantasy experience that has ever existed. So moving forward, personally and on this channel, I want to move away and focus less on tearing the game down and focus more on the positive and the enjoyment that I'm having and the excitement that being optimistic about the game allows me to have. Being grateful for and enjoying those aspects of the game that feel perfectly tailored to my life as a working, casual, adult dad gamer. So that's pretty much it. Drink water, get enough protein, get enough sleep. Take it easy.